Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your Thursday to hop on to learn a little bit and to help other people. I mean, that's really what we do is we help people. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. The first thing I want to talk about is how many of us, put one in the chat, if you are feeling that you're working harder now than ever before, just to keep the minimums going. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. And Mary talked a little bit about the fact that half of Americans can't solve a $400 emergency. And then she talked about how we know people, all of us do. Anytime I hear the stat, we think of somebody that we know, someone that we love. And maybe it's us. Maybe we're in this situation where a $400 emergency would be something hard to work on or have. Now, what's happening to our money? First, you can see this, that everything is losing its purchasing power. The cost is going up 80% towards food and drink and heating and groceries, 343%. That's just eggs, right? That doesn't count everything else. College, sewer cards, there's all these things. There's not one of those you can just say, you know what? I don't need those, right? You need it. And what's happening is inflation. And when I joined the company, people didn't know that word. Now it's a buzzword. Everyone's talking about it. But the dollar was created in 1913 and the Federal Reserve was created. And you can see over the years, the dollar has just lost 97% of its purchasing power. And that was in 2021. So why? Well, in 1971, Nixon took us off what was called the gold window, where the dollar was backed by gold. And the reason he did this is for lots of reasons, but he said it was going to be temporary. And I love that because I wasn't alive then. So that's how long temporary is. So we've seen this inflation. We've seen Germany. We've seen Argentina, Zimbabwe. I got to go to Brazil for a couple years. And when I was living there, they had just switched their currency. And to me as an American, where the dollar had been since 1913, to have a new currency was just fascinating to me. So having those conversations with the people on how they would get paid Monday and have to shop Tuesday because their money would be worth half as much the next day. And as everyone was spending their money so fast, it caused more and more hyperinflation. And so it's just crazy, right? And this is what happens times more and more hyperinflation. And so it's just crazy. And this is what happens time and time again. When you have currency that's not backed by anything, eventually it just fails. So let's take a deep breath and let's talk about sound money. Let's talk about gold and silver with a 5,000-year track record of being used as something of value, something that has intrinsic value. Now, in 1965, you could have bought a Ford Mustang for $2,500 or 2,500 ounces of silver, because at the time, $1 and an ounce of silver were equal. You used to have the little blue ones that said silver certificate, and you can still collect those and find them. But you could take it to the bank and trade it for silver because they were equal. Now, if my grandfather, I wasn't around 1965, but if my grandfather kept that money, put it in a Folgers coffee can, he had all tons of those. He drank a lot of coffee. And then I inherited it when he passed, and he says, favorite grandson of mine, I want you to buy a Mustang. It's a dream, but I wanted you to have it. And I went down to the Ford dealership here in the town and went to get a Mustang. They'd laugh. My wife's cousin runs the place and he'd laugh. But the 2,500 ounces of silver today would be able to purchase 2 Mustangs, and I could get it wrapped in that beautiful golden black and probably add some cool features to it because the silver has kept up with inflation. It's beating it. Same thing is true with gold. In 2000, and I was around for that, 626 ounces of gold was worth $169,000. And that was the average price of buying a house in the United States of America, right? So fast forward to 2024, and that would be worth $1.5 million. That means you could have bought 3 houses at the average price, or a really nice house at above average price, right? Because silver and gold, they hold their purchasing power and they keep up with inflation. So the question is, why don't we have it? Why don't you have some? Why don't we have it? Why do most Americans and most people in the world don't hold gold and silver? Well, there's lots of reasons. Most of it is because they don't know. They don't know what to buy, who they should trust. You hear the commercials on the radio. Give me a 2 in the chat if you've heard a commercial today or in the last 2 days while you're in the radio or on TV or just on the internet or scrolling, that it's been a gold and silver commercial pop up and say, call us and we can sell you some gold and silver. all over there. And we're afraid sometimes. We're not sure how, do I have to be an expert to win? So I always share the story. My father-in-law gave me 2 ounces of silver for my birthday in September. And he gave me 2 ounces. And the conversation went like this. He said, open up your hand. And he went, here, and gave me 2 ounces of silver. And you hear the clink, which is a beautiful sound. And he goes, you need more. And that was the end of the conversation. Like, we did not talk about where to get it, how to get it. I'm a father of 6 kids. I'm a school teacher. I'm like, I can't afford gold and silver. How am I supposed to buy this? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know? And so I had these same questions and concerns. High maximums, the minimums, and just the not the step to go and do something, to really figure it out. And then I found myself sitting in a meeting like this and having this conversation and learning about sound money. And to me, it's a beautiful thing that we are given a chance, that we can understand gold and silver, that we can learn about it and we can help other people about it. And so we are 7K Metals, and we're just this group of people that want to help the world and own some gold and silver. And I always like to point out my good friend, Tony Hubbard, right here. So this is Idle Falls. So just down the river right here's where I proposed to my wife. And so, and we just got married just on the other side of the river. So I love this picture, but we're here to help people. Give me a 5, like a high 5 in the chat that you just love helping people, because then you're in the right place. No matter whether this is your first call or you've been on lots of calls, give me a 5 if you like helping people. If you just like caring for people. Now, speaking of people who just care about people, these are our founders. And I have a privilege. I've got to know every single one of them. I've taught some of Zach's kids and Josh's kids, and I've been on cruises and at beaches with both Roger and Hanson and seen them share their vision and goal to really improving people's lives and helping people. Let's talk gold and silver, okay? We just already talked about bullion. That was the hedge against inflation. And we have it. You can get silver in bars or in coins, and you can buy silver in our Sound Money wallet, where you can have it stored for free or have it shipped to you if you want it in your own safe. This is the defensive strategy. And the beautiful thing is with the Sound Money wallet, you can set it and forget it. And let's listen.
If you're watching this video, chances are you're curious about gold and silver.
You might have a few questions, like why should I buy precious metals? What metals should I be buying? Who can I trust to buy them from? How do I know I'm getting a good deal? And how can I afford more? You should know that you're not alone. Most people have these questions, and over the next few minutes, we'll introduce you to an easy solution. Most people we talk to say they have a feeling that it's a good idea to own precious metals, but really don't understand why, or how to get started. Or they don't feel like they have the budget for it, so they don't do anything about it. This lack of understanding costs them a lot of money. And quite honestly, we don't want you to make the same mistakes. We've watched far too many people struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues arise, or unexpected changes come up in life. Owning gold and silver can help shield you against all these challenges long term. When we started 7K, we established a mission to help the average person get ahead by adding precious metals to their portfolio, no matter their knowledge or circumstances. We've already changed the precious metals industry by making it extremely easy to get started without any maximums or any minimums, period. But that's not enough. We're now completely revolutionizing the industry and making it so anyone and everyone can seamlessly start buying precious metals. It doesn't matter if you want to start with $100 or even $1. The new technology provided by our partner company Sound Money will allow you to convert your cash to various asset classes of fractional gold or silver quickly with no games or gimmicks. With Sound Money, you own the metals you buy, but they store them safe and sound. And you'll sleep easy at night knowing that if you ever want your metals, they'll be in the mail at the drop of a hat. How? Sound Money uses a non-segregated vault at their partner company, VaultMax, to store your precious metal assets, protected by some of the most technologically advanced security out there. You can be sure your metals are safe there. If you want your metal, simply request it. Pay the shipping and insurance and it will be on the way. But what if you need cash? The old way of liquidating precious metals, including lugging a heavy box to a local dealer, hearing excuses for why they couldn't possibly match the current market value of your metals, and probably ending up in a no-win situation, or contacting an online buyer with a typical $1,000 minimum only to find that the price they initially quoted you for your metal dropped significantly once they received your heavily taxed package 4 to 6 weeks later. With Sound Money, you can kiss all that headache goodbye. This is the only tool on the market with the power to give you frictionless liquidation with one of the best buyback prices in the industry. So whether you're a savvy investor who already knows the power of gold and silver and the advantage of a private vault, or you're trading your first dollar for precious metals, Sound Money will make your ownership journey convenient and easy. Be confident that control is back in your hands from start to finish. Let Sound Money work for you.
Isn't that it's just crazy that the technology today, to be able to, right now I could go on and I could buy silver or gold right here where I'm sitting, and I can store it in a private vault. And when I can spend $10, $15, $20, $30. One of the beautiful things, and it's just new and it's revolutionary, is now you can set it up so that I can buy $50 of gold every month, a gold eagle. And I can't afford to go out and spend almost $3,200, and buy a silver eagle, but I can put money away and then eventually have it. Plus, I'm getting the increase in the value of it. If you would have went back, we were just talking about this at one of our team meetings. If you would have went back 5, 6, 7 years ago and just put less than $100 a month, that would have been $1,000 a year in gold. Can you imagine over 7 years what that would look like today? Because gold was like $1,200 and now it's $3,000 something. And that's the powers of knowing and having the time. So let's talk about the other thing that I just find fascinating is collectible. Now, this is your offensive strategy. This is what we use to build this legacy and this wealth. Bullion's great for protecting you against inflation and against those things in the world to solve those emergencies. Collectibles are really an opportunity to create a legacy. Now, this Spider-Man comic right here, it's almost perfect, 9.6. And it sold for $3.6 million. We know that the paper in it was worth less than 12 cents when they made it because they made a profit when they sold it for 12 cents, right? But why? Well, it's because it's got a great story. It's got historic significance. This is the first time Spider-Man ever appeared in a comic book. It was an introduction. And there's just not very many of them. And so because of this, it has this value. You look at this baseball card here, almost perfect, Mickey Mantle. In 2023, it sold for $12.6 million. Put a 3 in the chat if you wish you found one of those. That you're going through a yard sale or you're going through your old stuff and pull out a Mickey Mantle baseball card that's in mint condition. We would love that, right? And so because we understand that power of collectible. So let's talk a little bit about the strategy of collectibles, the incredible design, the historic significance, and the low mintage. And this is to be able to have these points. So let's watch this, talk about the mistake we all made. And I always preface this a little bit because this always makes me sad because no one told me. And I wish they would have. And you might feel a little like, man, I wish I would have known this. And so
You probably made a $1.2 million mistake and didn't even know it. Let me explain. Let's start by taking a look at this chart that shows the purchasing power of the US dollar from 1913 to 2013. In 1913, a dollar was worth $1 in purchasing power. In 2013, a dollar was worth 5 cents in purchasing power, and even less now. We've seen the dollar and all currencies lose value over time. Some of this is due to inflation, but most is because of a change in 1971. In 1971, the US president ended the Bretton Woods Agreement, which cut all ties to currencies that were backed by gold. All at once, all world currencies became a fiat currency, meaning they are simply backed by whatever the government says they're worth. Take this scenario as an example. Let's say you wanted to purchase a brand new Mustang in 1965. It would have cost you $2,500 or 2,500 US silver coins. The same 2,500 US dollars won't get you a car today, but those 2,500 coins would get you 2 cars. As you can see here, while the US dollar has lost its value over time, gold and silver have maintained their purchasing power. If you'd consistently purchased gold and silver bullion over the years, you would have negated inflation and maintained an average buying power. But what would have happened if you'd have bought collectible gold and silver? It begins with the MS-70 Silver Eagle. MS stands for mint state. It's a grading system. An MS70 coin means the coin is in perfect condition. If you'd purchased one MS70 Silver Eagle every month since 1986, you'd be sitting on a $1.2 million portfolio, and it would have only cost you between $50,000 and $80,000. That's why we call it the $1.2 million mistake, because most people didn't buy them. What's crazy is that's what the coin the US Mint makes millions of every year. What would have happened if you focused on even more exclusive, unique, and rare modern coins? Here are a few examples of the track record for a few more unique and exclusive coins that we've offered through the years. A 2004 Tiffany art coin sold originally for around $100 with shipping and is selling in the market today for between $5,000 and $10,000. If you didn't get one, that's at least a $4,910 mistake. The Julius Caesar 7K exclusive from 2021 sold for around $360 with shipping and is selling for between $950 and $1,100 today. If you missed it, that's another $550 mistake. And here's the Montana Butterfly from the 7K Autosaver program that sold for $150 with shipping. Today, it would cost you around $1,200 to get one. That's another $1,000 or so mistake. Now sure, those are great performers, but that's a portfolio of around $10,000 with only a few coins and a fraction of the cost. With time, the power and potential of collectibles are real, and we're on a mission to help you avoid the potentially $1.2 million mistake of not adding them to your legacy.
I was, like I said, no one told me. I was around in 1986. I was young. Man, wouldn't it have been nice just to get those coins once a month. Now, I was around when Julius Caesar came out, and I kind of kicked myself because I did not get one. But I did get that Montana Butterfly because I was on Autosaver program. And to me, this is one of the great benefits of 7K, because just like I talked about the bullion where you can just set it and get it every month, you know, that's the hardest part is discipline. It's being consistent. I always tout my gym membership because I have one, but I don't know when the last time I was there. But I paid for it, but I need to go, and we need to be consistent. But it would be nice to set it on autopilot. So let's do that. So you can pick from these beautiful sets of coins, Beauty of the World coins at Australia, these gold notes and the silver eagle. And you click on it and you get it every month. And with it, you get the 7K Advantage, which gives you discounts on rental cars, flights, hotels, out to dinner. There are people I know that save enough money to pay for their coins, right? So it's got getting free silver. And then, of course, there's the loyalty program where you get loyalty points every month for every time you get an Autosaver coin, you get a loyalty point where you can get free coins. Right? And I always tell people the story. So I was on there one day and they just came out with the USS Arizona set. And I was telling my father-in-law about it, and they made a 1, 2, and 5 out. And the 5 out you can see is right here. Oh, it's covered. It's really pretty. And it's got this part of the decking in it. I was telling them about it, and they made one for everybody entombed in the USS Arizona. And my father-in-law was telling me that his great aunt's son is buried there. So now it has a better story for me. But I was on loyalty. Let me get back to my point. I was on loyalty and I saw the 1 ounce. I paid $1.99 for it and it was free. And I'm like, sweet, right? So I got it and I gave it to my father-in-law for Christmas. Well, lo and behold, it went up to $650. So it went from free to $650 and I'm the favorite son-in-law. And that is the beautiful thing is just adding value. Now, the other thing they do is they create these incredible designs. I love this egg coin. We have it on there twice. It's so pretty. And it's got a little piece of glass on the back from the actual window that's made from. That's going to be down in Utah in a 3-story stained glass educational center. And they make these beautiful coins. Now, this is my good friend, Chris Latin, Sr. And when he joined 7K, he didn't have any silver because he didn't know or he wasn't sure. But look at this now. You can see his offensive and his defensive strategy. Now, this is a legacy he's going to leave to his children, that he's been able to collect those. Now, when my father-in-law put those 2 ounces in my hand and I had no clue, there wasn't anything around to teach me that wasn't trying to sell me something. So here, with your membership, you get 7K buyer certification and collector certification, part of our 7K University, where you get the opportunity to learn why people buy silver and gold. What are the 5 reasons? Right? Are you buying it to preserve your wealth, or you're buying it to protect your wealth? And they go over that with you and help you learn the difference between bullion and numismatic coins and grading coins and the different powers of how much you're going to pay for it. Because the smaller the ounces are, the more you're paying in premium. And the collector's training has a great segment from the late Miles Standish. The beautiful thing about stacking is this website where you can stack and keep track of your assets and see how they grow and know, and then you can buy, sell, and finish up collections. And I'm gonna move on to this. So we've covered a whole bunch of things in the last few minutes, right? A lot about bullion and stuff, but we're more than that. And I said that we are a people company. We're here to help people. And 7K does that. They have 7K healthcare. They have gold back IRAs. They have all these different tools or benefits for you as a member so that you can do everything you need to do with gold. And so you can buy it, you can sell it, you can store it, you can track it, and you can learn about it. It's a one-stop place to get everything you need. Now, at the beginning, we talked about these half of Americans who couldn't handle this $400 emergency. And I'm going to talk about the how to get income. We already talked a little bit about loyalty and how you can get free silver, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can get free gold and how you can earn an above average income and help people solve these $400 emergencies.
This is the cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In that book, he discusses what the rich and the poor don't teach their children, but what the wealthy do. We want to be on the right side of the quadrant so that our money works for us, even when we're asleep.
There are 4 ways to make money or to get paid in 7K metals. And we talked about loyalty. So the first one I want to talk to you about is instant gold. Instant gold pay is where you get paid instantly with gold as a thank you for referring somebody to 7K. If somebody you know joined 7K and you helped them, invited them to a Zoom, or you just showed them some coins and like, I want to sign up, awesome, right? They will pay you in gold. Instant. And I'm telling you, so fast, I signed a guy up. A friend of mine joined because he had some extra money and wanted to get into silver. And he got in, and by the time I looked at it, it was worth $79.99 because the fluctuation of gold in that small amount changed. And now it's worth more than that because gold is continuing going up. But it's instant. I'm going to watch this video real quick.
What is instant gold pay? 7K customer acquisition program that pays you directly in gold. Whenever you refer a new customer membership to 7K, we will instantly pay you either $20, $40, or $80 in fractional gold, sent to VaultMax and instantly shown on your Sound Money dashboard. We'll say that again. Instant gold. The minute your new customer referral finalizes their purchase, gold is sent directly to VaultMax on your behalf. So what's the catch? Well, you do have to have your Sound Money and VaultMax accounts properly set up first. But once that's done, there's nothing to stop you from getting out there, sharing 7K with someone new, and collecting an instant gold payment. We're ready. Are you?
Okay, give me a 1 in the chat if you would like to wake up and have someone send you gold. That's a beautiful thing. To just be able to instantly, the mission of the company is to help people, help the average person to get gold and silver and be able to plan for those $400 emergencies. The second part about making money is our share plan. And this is where you can really start helping people. Because I always tell people, if I gave you $500 today, just said, hey, here's $500. Most people instantly know exactly what that money is going to go towards, right? It's that bill that's been bothering you that you haven't paid, that's that thing you're making payments on that just finish it off and make life so much better, right? It's that thing you want to go buy that the spouse says, no, we just can't. You can't rationalize that $500 purchase, right? But it's bonus, right? So you can't. Now, what happens if you had $500 every month? It just extra money came in every month. That changes things, right? That's opportunity. That's a new car. That's getting out of debt. That's making things just a little less tight at the end of the month. So this is how it works. As you share this with other people, you create a left team and a right team. And once you have one person on each team, now you qualify to make up to $500 a week. And you just have to get points. But once you get to 250 points in a week's time, they're going to send you a $450 check. And then if you had gotten 500 points in that time, you get a $500 check. And that's each week. With a little bit more work and building, here's an example where you can have 2,000 points left and 2,000 points right. And now you cycle 4 times and you can have it up to a 2,000 check. This is how it works. And we're going to go quick, but I really want you to see the simplicity of this. To be an associate, you sell 2 memberships, you share 2 times. You can do it on accident. And then once the points are there, they're going to send you a $500 check or $250 each, up to every once a week. If the volume's there. The second thing that you can do is get to copper. And there you sell another 2 memberships, 2 left, 2 right. And you've had 2 people come into your team in the last 4 weeks. And now you qualify up to $1,000 every week in the comp plan. Now bronze, sell 2 more memberships, got 3 on each side. And you have 2 people coming in the last 4 weeks. And you can earn up to $2,000 each week. Now, silver is $3,500 each week. You sell a couple more memberships, 5 left, 5 right, and you have 5 people coming in your company on each team in a 4-week period. Now you can qualify for $3,500 every week. Now think about that. I don't care where you live in the world. That is above average income. Think about it every week, as long as the volume's. Now, this place right here is where you really become a leader and where you really start helping lots of people. The company recognizes that. They want to reward people who do it and do it fast. So if you can get there in 90 days, they're going to give you a 100-ounce bar of silver. Not a certificate, not a plaque, but they will hand you a 100-ounce bar for getting to the rank of silver in 90 days. And believe me, they love giving these out to people. They've even made it even simpler right now. In the first 2 weeks of your new membership, you can get double points and get closer to that and get a good kickstart to being able to get that $100. Now, Tony's grandma always said, if you can do a thing, you can teach a thing. So this group of leaders and individuals have helped more people 100-ounce bar than any other group in the company. And we are here. We are here. If you want to get this, we will help you run and get this 100-ounce bar. And then we will be as excited, maybe not as excited, but we'll be pretty close to watch you go across the stage and get that silver bar. Now, you can keep going to gold, executive gold, presidential gold, and you can add that. You're like, David, 35 is nice, but 12.5 would be better. And it goes even higher with some of the new ranks. Now, let's talk about points. You need the points to get to the share plan. So where do you get points? Retail sales. Anytime somebody goes on your website and they buy anything with points, they're going to give you those points. Any of those autosaver coins that we talked about are on your team, and even your own personal ones, those go to your points. Now, you can also, they do rare coin drops and special coin sales. We saw the pictures of all those beautiful coins. Anybody on your team goes and gets one of those coins, you're going to get points. Everybody on your team, and then they're just getting points. And then any other purchases, there's jewelry, right? And they have some gold dip roses that I got for my wife, and they came with points. And then, of course, every member that you share, not only are you getting that gold pay, you're also getting points. And that's what I said right now. They're doubling all the points for anybody who signs up new for the first 2 weeks as a member. We covered a lot, right? But if you remember anything of what I've said today, I want you to remember that we're talking about creating a family legacy through gold and silver to be able to change the circumstances that we're in. My wife and I, when we found 7K, we'd been married quite a while, and we didn't have expectations to take trips, right? It hadn't occurred to us. It was something we couldn't do. We had 6 kids. I was working. She was had the hardest job taking care of the kids in the house and stuff. But because of 7K and the opportunities that it provides, we got to go on a trip, and we hadn't been on a plane together. We'd been married almost 20 years. But it's changed that mindset of that family legacy, right? We've taken our kids to the Dominican Republic now, and they've traveled more than my wife and I in their marriages, 2 that are married, because they see that it's possible, and they see that it's something that we can do and they can do. I said this already. Everything you need to do, from buying it fractionally, storing it, to buying it from yourself and understanding, to learning, to stacking it, and finding cool rare coins. Like I said, I have coins of 1 of 500, 1 of 300, 1 of 2,000 that I teacher in this small town, Rigby, Idaho, where TV was invented. I have the opportunity to get those. All this is yours as part of your membership. Now, what does it cost? Because I'll tell you, the numbers could be big, that you could be thinking of everything you get. But remember the goal. The goal is to help you get gold and silver and help people. For our basic price at $149, you get your membership. You receive $20 worth of gold in your Sound Money wallet. This is the basics, so you can only store up to 1,000 in your Sound Money wallet, and your stack and sell is limited to 10 coins, right? But it's a good way to get started and start sharing and start knowing about it. And then you have all the bells and whistles. $5.99 one time. You're a member for life. You're going to receive $40 worth of gold in the Sound Money wallet, and you open up your Sound Money wallet up to $50,000 stored for free. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret of mine. My goal is to pay $7K of Sound Money and VaultMax to store my gold and silver. That's one of my goals, because that means I have at least $50,000 saved for a rainy day or for my family legacy. Stack and sell unlimited, and you unlock what's called the Sound Money bonus. And it's a beautiful thing, so that if somebody that you shared this with, that you invited and they came on board, when they go in their Sound Money wallet and they buy silver or gold, you're going to get a 1% bonus in your Sound Money wallet as a thank you for referring them to Sound Money and having them be involved. 7K Pro is a beautiful thing because you get 15 points in your share plan, you get 7K Advantage, you get special coin drops, you're going to get 30 points in loyalty points every month. And you get full access to 7K University. Your membership comes with the buyers and the collector certification, but they have more in-depth trainings that you get to have as part of the subscription, and just to help you get out of this what you need. Now, I already mentioned this. Fast start bonus, get your double points for the first 14 days, the first 2 weeks you're in, because we really want two things to happen. We want you to be able to start stacking gold and silver. The minute you get signed on, you are stacker. You have gold in your Sound Money wallet. And we also want to help you build this and create this so that you can help other people. I want to thank you for being here today. And in closing, I want to say that there's three types of people that are on this call. There always is. The first one is, David, this was really cool. I learned a lot. I have a lot more to learn with the university, 7K, but I don't know if I want to share it. So I just want to be a customer. And I was like, great. 80% of the people who sign up for 7K are customers, right? They can get the instant gold pay. They can get the loyalty points, right? And so you have opportunity here. Come join, grab a membership today and join us. Number two, you're like, David, I need $500 a month. That's going to save most marriages and most bankruptcy. Just an extra $500 a month just relieves that pressure for things to get work. If you have 5 to 10 hours to work, to invite people to a Zoom, get with the person that invited you. Get a membership and let's get you started. Let's get you double points as much as we can in the next 14 days. And you're like, David, I need a silver bar. I want to run. I want to change my life. I want to fire my boss. I want to change this trajectory that I've been on. And you're number 3. Let the person know who brought you on that you're number 3 and you want to get that silver bar, because we will help you. Thank you for coming on today and sharing with us this moment where we could talk about this. So please get with the person that invite you. Come join us and we can have a great time helping other people. Thank you so much. Have a great night. God bless.
Thank you.